YouTube, what is going on? It's your man Takame Love Anime back with another video. And today's video is going to be on episode 3 of Bleach 1000 Year Bloodwork arc, March of the StarCross. And I want to say for a second, I appreciate everybody taking a moment to actually looking at episode 2. That video is like at 2,100 views. For me, that's a big feat, and I'm so glad that that happened for the series in Bleach, because Bleach is my favorite series. I just appreciate all the support that everybody just gave to that video and to this channel in general. I just talk on here to just have thoughts and just have discussion with everybody that likes the same things I like, so I appreciate that. But let's go ahead and get into episode 3. So this is just going to be a little brief of me talking about the parts that I liked mostly. I don't want to just hold you guys up. So between Ichigo and Opie fighting, literally was an amazing fight. It was such a better fight than it was in the manga. The manga was still pretty good, but seeing it animated, and especially seeing Opie, we already knew what Ichigo had to offer. I felt like Ichigo was going to be good regardless if he's animated or not. But Opie was one of those characters for me that seeing him animated now he's definitely one of my favorite characters as of right now. And I feel like his fight with him and Ichigo, once it resolves, is going to be one of the better fights until we get to Byakuya and Asnod, for me, personally, that I can remember. So, these two are just fighting, and they're just going through the discussions of what is to go on and everything like that. And that part was a little bit of just the downtime that we had in the episode, but throughout just everything with the animation and all, amazing. Seeing Ichigo, like, I was concerned about his Getsuga Tensho and his Shikai form with the yellow, but just seeing him in Bankai using it in the black would make more sense for me. Opie, Lord, seeing him go ahead and release literally looked crazy to me. It just was something that had to be animated for me to really appreciate his style and his character. And I'm there. I really appreciate him now. I cannot lie to you at all. Between him and Ichigo, an amazing fight. I can't wait for it to pick up as well. Also, I did not expect Ion to come back when Apache, Sansa, and Miller Rose were literally like had their left arm. I'm like, wait a minute, that looks so familiar. And then seeing Ion, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot he completely. I feel like everybody forgot, even Ichigo. He was like, what is that? Maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe Ichigo didn't see it because it was Yamamoto that was the only one that saw it. But I could have swore Yamamoto just burned him to a crisp, but I could be wrong. So Ion comes back, and of course he goes, and I thought he was going to get just one slice, I'm going to be completely honest with you, but he handles Opie for a little while, just kind of basically throwing him back and forth. Nothing really too crazy. You couldn't even tell, like, Opie wasn't even bothered by it. He just let it happen. And I was like, huh, okay, that makes more sense. He just in here just going, he's along for the ride. Just along for the ride type thing. But we get Yamamoto and Mayuri talking to each other, basically going on about how Yamamoto is saying, if you knew exactly what, like, you were suspicious, you probably should have sent Squad 12 out there to figure out what was actually going on, and piecing things together and not letting Ikkaku and Yumichika come across the problem and then letting them report it. And Mayuri's like, that's a good, valuable point. But then flipping it back on them and say, no, you literally knew that this was going to happen eventually, had all the clues, and if you would have dealt with him 1,000 years ago like you were supposed to, we would not be in this position. And Yamamoto, you can see the tense and the frustration on his face, because he knows that Mayuri is correct, and Mayuri's the only person that would say something like that to him. And after he just lost his lieutenant, he could feel no other feeling. And you could just see that much regret on his face. And we get us a little bit of Uryu and his dad in here. Uryu just trying to go through and figure out what was actually going on, because of course he said he couldn't go because it's Wako Mundo. He's not going to help Hollows. It's just how it is. And they broke down the difference between that. The difference between a Soul Reaper and a Hollow. They both fight Hollow. With a Soul Reaper and the Quincy, they both fight Hollows, but a Soul Reaper purges them to send them to the Soul Society so that they could recircle throughout A Quincy is somebody that extinguishes them and eradicates them, gets them out of the way. And they were going on to say that literally there needs to be a balance. If there is a balance, then there is no living world, and neither one can coexist with each other. So that is why there is a low amount of quote unquote Quincy's than there is Soul Reapers. Up to this point to now, where you watching just all of the Wonder Rights and just the Stern Raiders and everything. My person, this is not funny, but I have to cover this. Squad 1360 Hirotama Karumaru literally was going on and just trying to calm them down. And he was the one that explained this to them and telling them it's okay. Squad 11 is across the other part of this gate, and we're okay. Boom. She just started flying out. Literally, the attack starts. The invasion freaking starts. Literally, Soul Reapers flying in the air, getting absorbed. I'm like, yo, in the manga, I did not laugh. I was really upset and I was just frustrated. But now getting it animated, I was like, imagine you being probably nervous and scared yourself, but you being ranked. 60 to me is still pretty high. I'm not gonna lie to you, because some people just don't get to that point. So you being the person in that vicinity that has things under control, and you're trying to do your job and be the responsible person that you are, even though you are scared yourself probably, and people just start dying around you, and you're just like, yo, I gotta keep it, what is going on? It's just, you don't know what's going on. I'm like, that to me is literally insane. So as all that's going on, it starts. Robert Akatron, Bambietta, Asnot, Basby. These are the ones that I'm going to mention because, oh God, literally, you see them. Everything is just going crazy. You see Basby just start smashing heads. I'm like, yo, what is going on? He started wiping people out, burner fingers. He turned around, Lieutenant Kira blew a hole in his side. I forgot that happened so early. So sick, like so fire that he actually did that quick. Blew a hole in him. I'm like, yo, this is wild. And I'm like, bro, this man Kira, like, wow. And we get to see all the pictures of all the people for Soul Reapers in the Soul Society be nervous. I got my first look at Rukia. Oh my God, I paused it. Oh my gosh. Bro, Rukia? Rukia and Rangiku, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Bro, Rukia and Rangiku, especially Rangiku, oh my Lord. Sheesh. And from that point on, we just get to see you watch. Oh my gosh. You watch, and then we get back to Opie, and Opie's in that form. Yo, this fight is about to be incredible. I want to see how this pans out compared to the manga. But that's just all I wanted to say simply about what was going on in this episode, because I don't think this episode needs much review or any talking about it. This is an episode that I will push everybody to go and watch, because literally, this episode was literally the best animated episode at this point, with all the color schemes and just the way that everything was going on. I don't think that I could necessarily sit here and tell you what was going on without it being like 30 minutes of me writing notes. You have to go watch this episode, because literally the fight between Opie and Ichigo, insane. Seeing all the Stern Raiders for the first time, especially Basby and all the Soul Reapers getting our first looks at Byakuya, Rukia, Rangiku, everybody, oh my gosh. And seeing the little pain on Yamamoto's face is something that you literally can't script. But that's been my thoughts for episode 3. I really, like I said, I appreciate everybody that looked at episode 2, because this is just an amazing ride that I'm willing to go on with you guys. This is just incredible. I'm so glad Bleach is back. But it's been your boy Takame Love Anime. I'm still on these anime streets. Peace.